Hello, it's Delia. I'm so glad that you're here. Today, I wanted to pop on here and talk a little bit about anxiety. Quite a few of my friends and clients have been talking to me about anxiety. The other thing is like bad dreams, like, you know, um, not only bad dreams, but like horrible pictures in your head of sad things or bad things or painful things or awful things. And so the two topics kind of go related together. So we'll cover both of them here. Um, there's just a lot going on, and that's always kind of true. It's things are really intense right now, and sometimes things are less intense, but then they get more intense again. And part of the anxiety that a lot of bodies are experiencing is like a collective. Um, in the old days, my brother used to call it free floating anxiety, and it actually energetically has some uh, pra- pragmatic qualities to it. So, if you are aware that everything is energy, and like in third grade science class, energy never dies; it just changes form. And so, even when a person or an animal or a plant dies, it decomposes, and part of the decomposition means the energy of the matter, the physical body, is going to be transformed into something else. And then the energy, which animates energy, your sometimes people call it spirit or soul, but what I call your consciousness, your infinite at self, is the thing that animated the cells and atoms of your body. And then when the body dies and the decomposition begins, well, as soon as your body dies, your infinite self leaves your body and kind of goes back home, which is the infinite source of everything. And the consciousness to me is kind of the space between all the cells and atoms. So this is all by way of kind of um, inviting you into a different way of looking at things. And the anxiety is related to the future. I mean, even Plato or somebody, I think it was Plato, said back in his day, um, if you're sad, it's because you're thinking about the past too much. And if you're anxious, it's because you're thinking about the future too much. So the way the body responds to the past is a sadness it's a washing. I mean, the whole thing about sadness is to wash away. It's a help. It's a capacity. It's a facility. So sadness helps you wash away anything. But if you get stuck in a loop where you're thinking about the past, you're not allowing the movement, right? And there's lots of things that can make it sticky. But there are also lots of ways to make it unsticky so that you can let the past wash easier away. And then the future anxiety is what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen next year, when are the schools going to open, when is the economy coming back, what's going to happen with this election, which is every 2 years that goes on. And so there's a lot of things about the future that make us anxious. And it's really kind of funny. I'm in my past, in my uh, professional past, I have been a professional psychic. And I did not specialize in reading the future, but I do remember kind of being chided and derided for uh, anything having to do with the future. And now it's very common. That's all, like the stock market, it's all gambling on the future. It's all speculation. And the people who are really good at it, right? They have different names for it. The zeitgeist, having your finger on the pulse, but it's basically future forecasting. But anyway, I digress. So the thing about anxiety is spending a lot of time in the future. And if you're not aware of what you're spending your mental time on, then uh, this may sound, unlikely, in which case I invite you to do the experiment. And the experiment is just to start to notice what you're thinking about and notice how you're feeling. So, in the event that you find yourself feeling anxious, you could just be curious. Okay, so what was I just thinking about? And it, the trickiest part about this is starting to do it, frankly, because you're not used to it. And I remember years ago when I was first introduced to energy work in the 80s, and the teacher was saying, if you're anxious, it's because you're thinking about the future, and if you're sad, it's because you're thinking about the past. And I thought, well, that doesn't sound right. And then when I started to try to be aware of what I was thinking in the moment, I would forget. And then I would make myself wrong for forgetting. So instead of making yourself wrong for forgetting, you could help yourself out. You could be friendly and like put up a post it. And on the post it, you could say, um, past question mark, future question mark. And just to start to get you oriented towards thinking about noticing what you're thinking about. And your body is an unsung hero in this all, because your body is a huge communicator. That's all your body does, is communicate with you. And the best way to think about it is your body is part of your like spiritual navigation system. And everything that you think and feel has useful information, worthwhile information for your navigation of your life and creating your life when you know how to hear what it's saying. And a big problem is that um, we have been issued, I like to say, an analogy is we have been issued the handbook for the toaster oven, and we are Ferraris. And so, because the toaster oven and a Ferrari both have an electrical system, the information in the handbook for the toaster oven is going to be accurate, let's say 2% of the time. And it's just enough, and it's just often enough to keep you convinced that you have the right handbook. And then the next step of that is that since so much of what it says doesn't work, um, because some part of what it says does work, we usually tend to make it our problem. I'm not trying hard enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm whatever our favorites, I'm not, right? Whatever your favorite criticism is, then that's going to be why creating isn't working for you, or why manifesting isn't working for you, or why doing things different or being aware isn't working for you. It's simply because the, the handbook tells you that you're bad and wrong because it's not working for you, but it's the wrong handbook. And then you have a habit of that. And the the world we live in has been promoting that habit of what's wrong with you. And so back to how does this have to do with anxiety? A lot, a lot. I noticed I was doing something and TV was on, and there was an ad for some antidepressant material, medicine. And the person was saying, oh, they were typing out like a text, like a post, like a Facebook post. Another great night. And she had that little disc with the mask with the smile on it. And then she's in the doctor's office, and they're going to prescribe something else for her. And I was thinking, if you're telling the Facebook world that you're happy when you're not, then even though you're lying to them, more importantly, you're lying to you. and you're making yourself bad and wrong for not being happy. And so this is the only reason I mention this is because this is the kind of mind games that the culture does and then that we do. And if you're not able to tell yourself the truth, I like this, I don't like that, I want that, I don't want that, I want to live in the mountains instead of the city. If you're not able to tell yourself the truth about anything, then you're kind of an alley place to be. And it would be a good idea to choose to, it's an option anyway, to choose to become a really safe place to be on your side no matter what. And that would that helps tremendously with the anxiety, because so much of what we're doing with the future tripping is trying to um, make the present better. I mean, that's the motivation, is that you want a good life. You want, health, family, finances, right? There's not that many things that we want, that we humans desire and require. But if you're not telling yourself the truth about these things, how do you feel? Are you mad at somebody? Who are you mad at? Is it okay to be mad? Is it not okay to be mad? And there's just a tremendous amount of misinformation about what emotions are, what anger is, its role, its purpose, what it does and doesn't do for you. So with the anxiety, with the current climate, there's some really simple things that you can do. So let's say you're noticing you're very fidgety and anxious and, circular thinking and kind of I call it rat brain, it won't stop. There's a problem, you solve it 15 times, and the next thing you know, you're back in it again and won't let you go, right? Like a dog with a bone, right? So if you notice that you're having anxiety, shortness of breath, um, scattered thinking, or this rat brain thinking, all of these are signs of anxiety. And they all point to, and check for yourself, see if this is true for you. They all point to trying to figure out, right? Figure it out in the future. And the biggest motivation for trying to figure out the future is some kind of pain in the moment. And that pain could be uncertainty, it could be financial uncertainty, it could be, um, food uncertainty, it could be uncertainty about your family, about your relationships, it could be about anything. But it's an uncertainty where you don't have the ace, right? Somebody else has the ace, somebody else has the power to tell you whether or not to make you okay or not, right? It's not true, but it's the way we're trained to think, that the power is outside of us, right? That right there is a very anxious inducing premise, because if you are not sovereign in your space, if you're not the one that decides whether or not you're okay, then you can never know if you're okay or not. That's very anxiety inducing. So, this is energy work. So as I'm talking, a lot of things are coming up for people that can tell the energy. So let's just start doing some clearing around this anxiety about anxiety. So everything that is, all the energy that brings up, do you choose to destroy and uncreate at all times a godzillion? Yes, I choose that. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Yeah, so what if you just let the energy flow? And even though none of this makes any sense, maybe just allow. See if you can allow a shift to happen for yourself and see what happens. All right, so thinking about the future also means that there's something in the present that is wanting, which want means lack. There's something in the present that isn't here yet, There's something in the present that's here that's causing you pain or discomfort. So there's something about right here, right now that in your mind you have decided is making this moment untenable. It's not an okay moment. So um, a lot of times that's because people are multitasking. When you're multitasking a lot, right? You're not really paying attention to any one thing. And you know that, and that, and but you have all these things to do. And so you fight knowing that and make yourself wrong because you're not multitasking easier, right? That's circular thinking, right? So everywhere that you have external expectations of how you should be spending your time and money and brain power and energy that are actually in conflict with how you're built and everything and everywhere that you have aligned and agreed with those external measurements and you have aligned and agreed with making you bad and wrong, do you choose to destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion? Yes, I choose that. Destroy, destroy, disintegrate, and erase. Destroy, destroy, disintegrate, and erase. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Whew, yeah, that's better. Good. Yeah, so what if you could uh, actually enjoy this moment? What if that was an option? What if it is an option, but what if you made the choice to actually enjoy this moment? So if this is if this is a new idea or if you've just been really harried lately and you can't imagine how that could happen, let's just take a moment to close your eyes and just take a couple of nice deep breaths. You're not trying to be aerobic or anything. Just picture yourself coming into your body more. Down, 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 past your eyebrows, past your nose, and past your jaw, down your neck, down your shoulders and arms, down your torso, down your belly and your hips and your legs, and just get the idea of being all the way in your body, from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers to the tippy top of your head. Yeah, just kind of invite more and more and more. Just be all in your body. And just have that nice soft focus from head to toe. And if any part of your body is unhappy or tight or complaining, just maybe put your hand somewhere, maybe on the unhappy part if you can touch it, and just have the idea of letting go, whatever that might look like. Just what if you let go of resisting whatever this moment is? And just see if you can drop into this moment. There you go. And just spread out into this moment. Don't worry, you can go back to everything just in just a couple of minutes, but right in this moment, just have the idea of spreading out into this moment and allow yourself to notice how full this moment is. Notice all the sights and sounds of this moment, the smells, the sensations. Be aware of the oxygen all around your body. Feel that oxygen on your skin and your face. And just allow that sensation of where your skin meets the oxygen to be like caresses or a billion little kisses. Just allow yourself to be aware of the enjoyment and appreciation of your skin meeting the oxygen. And just allow yourself to feel that sensation. and drink it in. So to open up to this moment, a way to help yourself open up to this moment is barriers down, barriers down, barriers down. The levels, layers, and dimensions, barriers down. And as you lower your barriers, you're actually opening yourself up to receiving from you, that infinite part of you, that infinite support, energy, magic, power that truly is you, that infinite energy part of you, consciousness. Just kind of maybe get the sensation of that wealth of you just drenching your whole body right here, right now, your brain, your skin, your organs, filling up with you. Nice deep breath. And just notice how you're feeling, the sensations in your body, the way your brain is activated. It's a much better place to operate from, isn't it? You're on solid ground now. So when you're ready, just open your eyes and move into your life from this energy. See what it's like to make decisions and choices from fullness. And you can always come back to this. Just close your eyes and feel all the oxygen around your face, and your arms, and your skin. And just breathe it in. You can make yourself feel tremendously more stable and clearer in just 90 seconds. Excellent. All right. I will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.